I'm Chuck Adams, and welcome to Coffee and Conversation. I'm really excited today to be joined by Mark Rohrer, CEO and President of Rohrer Aesthetics. Now, Mark has been in the industry for quite some time, and he and his team are doing some really cool things, really to help out the industry over at Rohrer Aesthetics. And we'll get into all of that. But Mark, welcome to the program.
Chuck, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I mentioned, I know Mark's got a lot of really unique and cool things going on at Rohrer Aesthetics. But before we get into that, tell us a little bit about your background and the journey that kind of led you to start Rohrer Aesthetics.
Okay, so we're going to have to go back in time a little bit. I've been doing this for about 30 years. I started back in 1991 just as a sales rep for a company out of Milpitas, California, right out of San Jose, called Laser Sonics. It's before aesthetic lasers were even thought about. We sold hospital lasers. I worked for those guys from 1990 to 1995, when they were purchased by a company called LaserScope. Is when aesthetic lasers started to hit the marketplace. I moved from the hospital division into the aesthetic laser division, and from 96 through 99, I worked for LaserScope as a sales rep selling their aesthetic products. And in 2000, I decided I'd always wanted to have my own company. I decided if I was going to do it, now was the time to do it. So I left LaserScope, and in 2000, I founded Sandstone Medical. And Sandstone was all about selling affordable aesthetic laser technology. All of our lasers were priced at $40,000 and below. And fast forward to 2012, Sandstone is now 12 years old. We were a multi-million-dollar company. We were a debt-free company. Elman Cynosure knocked on our door. Of course, Cynosure is the largest laser company in the world. They offered me several $1 million for the company. I'm just a man who lives in Birmingham, Alabama. I decided I'd sell the company. It was every small business's exit strategy. So I sold the company. I became the executive vice president for Elman, and I worked for those guys for 2 years out of a 2-year contract. In 2014, I did not renew the contract with Elman Cynosure, and instead I decided to start Rohrer Aesthetics. And before I started Rohrer Aesthetics, before we built our first product, we did this big survey, and I asked a lot of doctors and a lot of med spas, if you could build a perfect laser, tell me what you would want to see. And we took the top 5 things, and here's what I heard. Number 1 was, I need something that's multifunctional, because for one thing, we don't have room for 4 lasers in an IPL in our practice. And number 2 is, we don't have the money to buy 4 lasers in IPL, so we need a multifunctional product. The second thing I heard was, we want gold standard technology. We want technology that's been around, that we know works, and not just something that we hear about on the podium and we spend all this money for, and it just turns out to be just an okay system. The third thing was price. I heard, look, we're buying this to increase practice revenue. We need something that's affordable so we can realize return on our investment. The fourth thing was warranty. We want a warranty that's longer than 1 year, and we want an affordable service contract once the warranty expires. And the fifth thing was, look, we pay enough for the device. We really don't want to be held hostage with consumables and disposables. So you always hear you can't be everything to everybody, but we built a system that I feel meets all those needs, and it's called the Spectrum. The Spectrum is actually 4 lasers and an IPL. It's got a laser for hair removal. It's got one for tattoo removal, one for skin resurfacing, one for vascular reduction, and your IPL for vascular and pigmentation removal. So that's the first hurdle. One thing that can do a lot of procedures. The second thing, everything in there's gold standard technology: 810 diode, erbium YAG, Q-switch YAG, long pulse YAG, and your IPL filters. We price the system at $59,995. Where else can you get 4 lasers and an IPL under $60,000? We can't. We don't have any consumables or disposables with the system, and it includes a 2-year warranty. So that was the first system we introduced. We introduced that in September of 2015. It's been very well received into the marketplace. After the Spectrum, we introduced our fractional CO2 laser, the Phoenix. for deeper skin resurfacing. After that, we introduced our Pixelate RF. It's an RF microneedling system, radio frequency microneedling system. After that, we had the EpiLase, which is the EpiLase is the three gold standard hair removal wavelengths in one platform. We introduced our body sculpt for body contouring in November of last year. In January of this year, we introduced our Pico laser. During the COVID times in April of this year, we were able to obtain our FDA approval for the Van Gogh, which is a long pulse KTP laser. And then our latest addition to the family, to the Rohrer product family, is the Body Tone. And we are expecting to put this in October. And this system is for muscle toning and building muscle mass. It's very similar to the M-Sculpt.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I know that Rohrer has a really robust product mix, really something for aesthetic practices of all sizes. You know, you mentioned COVID-19, and earlier this year, in response to the crisis, you launched a very unique program designed to help practices that you're calling the Practice Recovery Program. Tell us about the program, really, and how you came up with the idea.
Okay, and yeah, we're very proud of our Practice Recovery program, also known as PRP. So when COVID-19 hit, Rohrer Aesthetics was fine before COVID-19. We were fine during COVID-19, and I knew we were going to be fine after COVID-19. So a doctor once described his practice as a hamster on a hamster wheel. He goes, Mark, as long as I'm making that wheel spin, everything's fine. But the minute I get off that wheel is when everything stops. And that's really what COVID-19 did to a lot of med spas and a lot of aesthetic practices. Patients couldn't come in to have the procedures done, so that meant revenue wasn't coming in. However, bills were still needing to be paid and payroll was still needing to be paid. So I wasn't so concerned about how is Rohrer going to come out of COVID-19. I knew we were going to come out of COVID-19 fine. What I wanted to do was help the aesthetic facilities and help the med-spas who helped us get to the financial shape that we're in. I wanted to make sure that they maintain their cash flow and their livelihood and revenues as well. So what we did is we came up with a program where you can obtain equipment without any money down, get multiple pieces of equipment at no cost. We include our Pixelate at no cost. And we figured out a way to help you increase your cash flow and your revenue as well. And that's our PRP program.
So, okay, the PRP is all about helping practices. So tell us a little bit more on what a practice should expect to get if they take advantage of this.
Body Sculpt or our Pico laser at $59,995, and we include our Pixelate RF microneedling system at no cost. The Pixelate is a $40,000 value that we include at no cost. We can set that lease up, the $59,995 lease up with no money down. The monthly payment is $1,200 a month. If you take $1,200 and multiply it times 6, that total is $7,200. So on top of giving you the free Pixelate RF microneedling system, Rohrer is also going to rebate you $7,200 to cover your first month's 6 months of payments. And that's not just a principal or an interest-only payment. It's an interest and principal payment as well. So you're really getting the device plus the Pixelate RF for $52,800.
Wow, that is an amazing deal. And recently, you just added a risk-free marketing package to the program as well, right?
Yeah, that's our Kickstarter program, and we've teamed up with Bell Media. We've worked out an arrangement so that any Rohrer customer that purchases a Rohrer system, we worked out an agreement with Bell Media where they're going to develop a landing page for that account, and it's not so much going to be promoting Rohrer Aesthetics. That's not what the landing page is for. It is more to let the community know that aesthetic practice or that med spa is now offering these services, and it's going to help drive patients to these med spas and to these aesthetic practices, maybe even before they get their device. But it's just a way to help them let the community know that they are now offering these procedures, and this is at no cost to the account. For 30 days, Rohrer covers the cost, and then after
Yep.
30 days, they have the option to continue the marketing plan that Bell Media offers.
Yeah, that's certainly a fantastic offer for sure. So, just finally here, tell us how the PRP has worked, not only for Rohrer but for your customers.
I think it's been very well received for us, but more importantly for our customers. It's helped them generate revenue. It's helped them um, bring in cash flow. It's helped them bring in new patients. It's allowed them to offer affordable procedures that their patients, because patients are struggling through COVID-19 as well. This has been able to let the PRP programs has been able to let the account offer more affordable procedures so that the patients can afford to have these procedures done as well. And Chuck, we're all in this together. We all need to work together, and that's what Rohr's trying to do: offer affordable technology so that the practice can offer affordable procedures, so that the patient can afford to have the procedures done. And we're just trying to help out everybody.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like you've created a win-win-win for everybody. So, Mark, if someone wants to learn more about the Rohrer Aesthetic product lineup or the PRP, how should they go about contacting you?
They can learn more about the products by going to our website at rohreresthetics.com, and that's ROHRER aesthetics.com, or they can contact us direct at 205-940-2200.
Awesome. Well, Mark, I really do appreciate the time today. I think this is a fantastic program that you've put together, and certainly one that I know is getting a lot of buzz around the industry. So I really appreciate the time and enjoyed chatting with you.
Thank you, Chuck.